So a few days ago I was recording myself a video, and in this video, for a second, I became sympathetic. I became sorry for something. Because I had said something in particular that made me reflect and realise, damn, this world can be sad. But at the same time, if you're thinking it can always be sad, it will always be sad. So I snapped out of that really quickly. And I went back to sympathy for a different reason. And there's also this one thing that relates to it from chess. Now, if you clicked on this video, you've seen the title, you understand what I'm going to say. We should stop feeling sympathetic. In some cases. Not in every single case, right? I'm not going to tell you you should never feel sorry for anybody in your life. There are some people who you can look at and be like, okay, fair enough. But most of the time, truthfully, it's self-inflicted. And that's why you can't feel sorry for these people. You're giving them energy that they decided to give away to nothing. They decided to chuck into the void. And the energy you give them goes into the void again. Or in other words, what they have done has come from their actions. Sometimes, and a lot of the time. This is what I'm saying, not every single time, but a lot of the time. And the reason I started thinking about this was because I was talking about something. I was talking about how we can become more productive and feel more fulfilled with our days. If you haven't watched the video, I'll link it, it's the first link in the description, right? And we were talking about it on the video, and I realised my friends who were getting drunk, they felt sorry about themselves right after they were sober again. And it made me reflect in the moment and consider, that's it for some people. And it made me really sorry. It lowered my tone, it lowered my emotion, it lowered my voice and personality a little bit. It took some energy away from me because I gave it to them. Now, the reason I don't feel sorry for these people is because when it's drinking and when it's drugs and when they feel certain ways because of it and they want to cry because of it, that's self-inflicted. When they feel empty because of it, that's self-inflicted. And therefore, I should not give any energy to these people. That's up to them. That's their faults. That's their problems, right? Each and every single one of them has to learn the skill from chess, aka self-accountability. Because if you lose, it's your fault. If you win, it's your fault. No matter what happens in any scenario, it's your fault. It's something we should all be considering going forward. And look, I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't feel sympathetic for the disabled people. You shouldn't feel sympathetic for some people. But what I am going to tell you is for a lot of people who are walking around like this and they're druggies and they look really sad, you shouldn't feel sorry for them because they've done that to themselves. And I know someone's going to make the argument, what about their surroundings? Their surroundings could have been bad. Yeah? Okay. I went to parties where people smoked weed. I didn't smoke weed. I went to places where people drank alcohol. I didn't get drunk. So there is that sort of thought about it where you're like, oh, maybe, just to play devil's advocate, maybe maybe it was just the scenario and the surrounding. But when I was a kid, my friend's mum used to smoke weed. And I still didn't become a druggie. I just became so immune to the smell of drugs, I didn't even know what the smell of drugs was. That's the only negative that ever came of it. I didn't become a druggie. I didn't become somebody who smoked weed. I was still calm and somber and still myself. I didn't change because of it. If anything, I got better because of it. Because I said no to it. As a kid, as you're supposed to. So even though the scenario can be highly convincing, sometimes we need to understand and realise that bad choices are bad choices. Guess what? If I'm playing chess at my friend's house and he says, make that move, and everyone starts saying, make that move, but I know it's a blunder. Because I know it's a blunder, I'm not going to play it. If you know it's a blunder, why would you play it? And therefore, I don't feel sympathy. If you're addicted to something, I don't feel sympathy because it's done by you. Now, if you want to get unaddicted from things, that's down to you. You can change that easily. I've made many guides on my channel. You can obviously go through them, probably search up the word addiction, and I guarantee you anything will come up, like Control F or whatever, and search addiction. I guarantee you anything comes up. And that, my friends, is the reason why I've stopped feeling sympathetic for people. And you should as well. Because there are some people who have done it to themselves and do not deserve it. They do not deserve the energy you give them. They do not deserve the attention you keep fueling them with. Let them be, leave them be. If their fatty is trying to get attention online, leave them be. If their druggie is trying to get attention in person, leave them be. Stop giving them energy and fuel to continue doing it because they see it working. Make sure they know it doesn't work. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to free a few more people from these disgusting and degenerate addictions. Now, if you have any counter arguments, I'd love to hear them in the comments below, because a lot of the times it's self-inflicted. Even if people don't like to admit it, I might get a lot of shade for this video, because people will be like, oh, actually, it's not my fault I'm XYZ, and it's not my fault I've done this, it's not my fault I've done that. When the truth is, a lot of times it is. It's my fault I'm sitting in this chair right now. Why didn't I make more money and buy a different chair. It's my fault I've got the laptop I've got. It's my fault I've got the phone I've got and everything. That's the accountability I hold. And if you can hold the same accountability and same standards for yourself, you will stay away from addiction your entire life. Because it's your fault for everything. It's your fault for everything, and you would not feel sorry for yourself if you got in that situation. You'd be angry, disappointed by yourself. And that's it. And therefore the anger and disappointment will be able to get you out. So as long as you can carry this mindset of complete and utter self-accountability, where if you go to bed 5 minutes later than you wanted, it's your fault. Even if it was traffic outside, you should have left the event earlier. And if you couldn't have, maybe you shouldn't have gone. Maybe you should have decided something else. Maybe you should have drove quicker if you can drive. Maybe you shouldn't have got the public transport. There's always something that's your fault. And therefore, you need to learn everything's self-accountability, everything your fault. And you'll do better in life than anybody else. And you will never feel sorry for yourself, which means you will always be better. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained the value from it. And I hope and pray going forward you will stop giving these actual evil people energy they don't deserve, my brother. Take care.